All right, welcome back to another episode of Small Guys Podcast. Today we are doing a rewind on Kung Fu Panda. To everyone's surprise, including his own, Poe. To everyone's surprise, including his own, Poe, an overweight, clumsy panda, is chosen to be the protector of the Valley of Peace. His stability will be soon tested as the Valley's arch enemy is on his way. This movie has an 87% critic score and 83% audience score. Came out in 2008. It's kids and family and comedy movie. Hour 31. What did you guys think?
I want to be the first person to go and say that the animation for 2008 was phenomenal.
It's a kids movie.
I don't know why.
That's right.
We're gonna bleep all these curse words out.
Yeah, bleep them. Hey, this
fuck it.
More editing.
Yeah,
more
Mr.
editing.
Mr. Editor, can we get a boop over every swear word?
Yeah,
thank you.
Fuck you.
Thanks.
Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think as a kid, I didn't realize how amazing the cast was.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say that. I mean, I haven't seen this movie since 2008 when it came out, and I mean, you don't even know who those people are when you're 9 years old.
So really quick though, I don't think I
Go ahead.
know like all the people that were in like this movie when I was a kid based off their voices, let alone honestly, I probably didn't know who half of them were when I was 9 years old. But you think about it, who's in this cast? Angelina Jolie, Jack Black, Jackie Chan, Seth Rogen. Who else is there?
Ian
David
McShane.
Cross,
Yep.
Lucy
like
Liu.
Lucy Liu. Yeah, this character, the voice actors in this movie are absolutely flooded and phenomenal. Honestly, like way ahead of their time.
For
I mean,
a brief, I was just gonna say, for a brief second, I thought Shifu was Liam Neeson for a second.
Dude, same.
He kind of sounded like him at the beginning.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it would be a good character for him to portray.
Yeah, and back in 2008, like that would have made sense, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I feel like as a kid, the only ones I knew going into it was the fact that it was going to be Jack Black, and then Jackie Chan was an instant one that you could pick up on.
Yeah.
I think the only one I caught when I watched it originally was Jack Black.
Oh yeah. Dude, we'll talk about it at the end with comparison to Mario Brothers and this, but
Oh, Seth Rogen
I
and
heard an ice cream
Jack
truck.
Black.
yeah. Well, no, I mean we can talk about it now here. Just the fact that he is making these spoof songs into actual hits is just crazy. He has Peaches as Bowser,
I just got
And
Peaches
then-
out of my head, bro. You had
Dude,
to
you ever
say
seen
it.
Tenacious D?
and then Tenacious
School of
D,
Rock.
School of Rock.
Yeah.
Like this guy he shreds. Like he shreds.
Oh, yeah.
And he,
No, he's an actual musician.
yeah, he doesn't even have like a good voice. But the fact that like
Shut up,
Kung
yes, he
Fu-
does. Shut
I think
the
he
fuck
does.
up. Yeah, he's
No,
got an amazing
okay.
He definitely has a
voice,
good
yeah,
bro.
voice.
his voice is as good as Adele. Shut up.
No,
You know
Don't
what
say
I'm
that.
getting at.
that's an awful comparison.
You know what I'm getting at though. He couldn't make it as just like a pure like musician alone. Is what I'm saying.
Well, that's the thing is he actually, if you've ever seen any interviews with Jack Black, he actually enjoys music more than acting.
I'm sure.
But it just so happened that, like, I mean, that's great that he can combine acting and music in together. You know,
I know, and that's what I'm
School
saying is my
Rock.
whole point here with the fact that I just like Brian said, I just got Peaches out of my head. Now I'm gonna have Kung Fu Fighting in my head for another week or two. Like it blows my mind how he's doing these spoof songs, like I said, and he's making a killing off of them.
Yeah. No, I mean the guy. It's a shame. Go listen to our actors draft, but that he wasn't taken. Obviously, you know he is a jack of all trades. I think.
but then again, I mean, Kung Fu Fighting song isn't like an original from this movie.
No, yeah, but he remixed it a little.
Yeah,
That's true.
And I want to say too, I looked into it. Apparently, Kung Fu Panda 4 is coming out next year, so we did
I thought
good
that's why
timing
you
on
picked
this.
it, because we heard about that.
That is why I picked it.
I need to.
I haven't
watch-
seen the second or the
think
third
Josh
one.
I need to
so-
watch the
Fighting
next two. Is
movie.
what I was gonna say.
Wait, how have you guys haven't seen? I know Brian has. You guys haven't seen the other two?
Yeah.
I've not.
They're all
What do you mean by
great.
that, Josh?
We talk about Kung
What's
Fu
the-
Panda
what could
regularly.
the second one
I've seen
possibly
them
be
all,
about?
but-
Well, I don't want to spoil it for you.
I'm sure
Is
they
it
probably.
worth it?
I'm sure they.
All three are really good. It's a really good trilogy, actually.
Do they all
I
have
like the third one a lot.
Same
Is it
actors?
better than Guardians?
Well, you guys are asking me a lot of questions. Kung Fu Panda 3, I think, actually might be my favorite one out of the three.
There's a bunch of little baby pandas.
There is
Am
other
I-
pandas in the movie.
Yeah.
Am I gonna have to watch the Kung Fu Panda trilogy today?
Dude, they're so good.
Are they all on HBO?
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure. I assume they
I
are.
think I seen them all.
I mean, I typed it in yesterday and only the first one popped up. So
Oh, it could be misspoken.
Yeah, and then I think Netflix has a Kung Fu Panda show that came out in like 2018. So there's a bunch of. I mean, obviously it did really well. Let's see how much it made. Yeah, so gross worldwide, this is the first movie. It made 632 million. So
Dang. How much did it cost? Does it say?
the
That
budget
perfect.
estimated is 130 million. So
Jack
you know.
Black got a bag for this.
yeah, I mean
Easily.
DreamWorks had this. They had Ice Age, Madagascar, Shrek.
I was gonna say, don't sleep on the goat.
No, I was
Goat that
saving the
made
best
it
for
all
last.
possible.
It's just
the best thing about these like kid movies is
How to
that
Train
they're
Your
that
Dragon.
perfect 90-minute time.
yeah.
You know, that run length.
Even
Yeah.
Mario
I was gonna
Brothers
say
too.
the pacing is great. You break it into 30-minute intervals and you see what the fuck's going on.
Oh,
Love that. And
I
know
literally
we
listened to
talked
it. I
about
didn't even
that.
watch like pretty much the ending, but I just listened to it when I was at work.
Skadoosh.
Yeah.
Dude, that part's so sweet.
I think it's hilarious how like when he's fighting, was it Tai Lo?
Yeah.
At the
Tai
end,
Lung.
he's not even like really doing shit. Like he's not like throwing punches. Like he's not putting everything into it. Like he's basically just like I don't know. I don't even know how you call it.
He's
It's like
like
lazy
SpongeBob
fighting.
in that fight against Bubble Bass where he's just eating all the punches.
Yeah.
That's a gripe I definitely have with this movie. Is just like how quick. I mean, I get it's only a minute 30 and it's a kids movie, but just how quick he just.
Well, he's the
turns
Dragon
into this-
Warrior.
Yeah, but still.
He's got that dog and
Yeah, he's literally got that panda in him.
All right, so I'll be the first to say it. How similar is this movie to the Star Wars franchise?
Oh my
Is it not the exact same? What's the Master Oogway? He passes away and he dissolves like a Force ghost, and then he goes and shit, I'm not good with names. The little red panda, the small guy.
Shifu?
Yeah, Master Shifu. He like had a corrupt apprentice or whatever who's Tai Lung, and then what's his name? Kung Fu Panda has to go and obviously fight the big bad, and he's not even trained. He's nothing. He's like the chosen one. It's literally a spitting.
Where does Tigress in the Fantastic Five, whatever you want to call them?
Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Yeah, I mean that, or they're just other Jedi's.
I know, but
You
like,
can take it as like the original trilogy or the prequels.
I mean, that's something to talk about too, just in general with movies. Like, we're at that point now where all of these like plots and all these arcs are going to be continually just like remade and remade and remade. It's a big, oh, this copied this copied that. And honestly, like, it's just bound to happen due to like just years and years of, movies and stuff like that. Like, it's not something that we can necessarily reinvent because we can only do so much. You can only do so much.
I think it's like anywhere from 6 to, I can't remember if it's 6 or 12 different ways to write a fucking song, and then they're all just going to sound similar. And that's why, like, in recent days, we're watching, like, Marvin Gaye's estate go after Ed Sheeran because it sounds similar. And it's like, dude, there's not that many possible ways to make a song. We're sorry,
Yeah.
it sounds like that. And
Yeah.
movies are hitting that point. Well, actually, movies have been at that point, especially
Well-
the fact of, like, essentially, it's like movies came from books, and books have been doing the same shit over and over again.
Yep. And that's the thing too. Is I mean, obviously that's going to be a thing that goes on for forever.
Right.
But I mean, this movie came out in 2008. You know, it's not like it came out today. I mean, we still see that shit today, but it really is. Imagine taking like, hey, let's base this story off of Star Wars, and then obviously turn it into a kids movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know what's cool? I know we were talking about the second and third movie. I just went and looked. The third movie has a slightly higher Rotten Tomato score, and it has Bryan Cranston and J.K. Simmons in it too. So
Yeah, I
the
saw
cast gets
that.
even better as it goes on.
J.K.
So they obviously
Simmons-
dropped the Fantastic Five or whatever the hell they're called.
Well, they're still
he's
in the
sticking
movie.
around.
Just watch for yourself, Aiden. How about that?
Yeah, they're still in the movie.
J.K.
Yeah, let me
Simmons,
go watch them.
J.K. Simmons is honestly a goated voice actor, though.
Yeah.
Dude,
No, I mean,
we'll get into it eventually, but his voice acting in Invincible, so fucking good.
yeah.
God, man, I'll never forget that Kung Fu fighting game or that Kung Fu fighting song. It was an original Xbox game, and it had a yellow or an orange disc. I have no idea what that game's called. I'm gonna try to find it. And that was like the opening intro was that song, the Carl Douglas version.
Yeah,
Wait,
for
on the
sure,
OG
bro.
So
Xbox?
fucking good. OG Xbox.
For sure, bro.
Okay.
Good story.
Be me, man. Kung Fu Chaos. I found it. Damn.
I think I played that.
Oh, you had to have.
It sounds familiar. Um,
Damn.
so what did you guys think of? I guess the way the movie starts with Poe. I think it's hilarious the bit of how long the stairs are. How,
Yeah.
how it's a pain in the ass throughout the whole movie for him to go up those stairs because it's like never ending.
Yeah, but he can roll around the whole valley with
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a funny little bit. It's just again, like he can do that versus struggling going up, not a flight of stairs, but stairs. So
Yeah. No, and what else is cool too, and I didn't notice this obviously as a kid, but Hans Zimmer's involved. The whole trilogy actually. Pretty cool.
Yep.
Isn't that sweet? Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm like, damn, they got just all the goats.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think too as another thing when I was a kid, and I guess I should have picked up on this, but I didn't until now rewatching it. The whole theme of like believing in yourself. I like that the scroll really like harped on that. I like that message a lot, especially like in a kids movie. I think it worked for this story a lot. I mean, he's truly like an underdog and really doesn't believe in himself until the end, and I think that's what helped him, win. Right?
and I like with that too how his dad sparked that in him, like just that like that revelation he had after he had like the scroll. He didn't really understand like what was going on until like it clicked in his head when his dad said what he said when they were running away.
Secret recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so
what is it? The Dragon Scroll.
yeah.
Yeah.
So one scene that I absolutely loved is when Master Ogwe is on his way to like pretty much like die, and he flies off into those, or he transforms into those pink flowers and cherry blossoms. Yeah, sorry. And before he goes, he says something. That's why we must cherish the present, and it's a present because it is a gift. And I heard that, I was like, that is some bars. I've never heard that before. That is some hard ass shit to say, bro. If someone said that to me, I would be ready to run through a wall right now. Like I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
No, that's true.
Sure.
I honestly think he's probably my favorite character, and it sucks we don't get more of him.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like he's wise and then he's funny as hell too.
Especially when he goes and like freezes what's his name, Tai Lung, when he originally attacks.
Yeah,
That shit was sick.
he's a badass too.
Yep.
I'm curious to know, like,
he's only like 10 minutes of the movie, honestly.
I know,
probably even less than that, but
but it made sense why he had to go.
for storytelling, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought Master Shifu was gonna die at the end. I was like, damn, he's not only gonna have
Not dead, you idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, chosen one.
Yeah. I'm at peace.
I was cracking up at that.
I'm at peace.
Dude, the one scene that always cracks me up, and I think about it from time to time. Anytime I see anything sharp, I think about when he walks up to the sword and goes, "They say it's so sharp that even looking at it can hurt you." Just just when he's staring at the sword, that fucking scene kills me.
Yeah, there's
when he goes on to fucking break the vase, you just hear all the souls escaping.
Yeah.
Every time he steps on it.
And he steps on it and more come out.
That shit was great.
yeah. You forget how funny the movie is, and then too, like the action scenes are amazing. Like sometimes, you'll be watching the movie and it's just like an action scene will happen and you're just like dialed in. Like it's the action's awesome in the movie. I mean, for like what Mike said, for a movie back in 2008, an animated movie for kids, it's like shockingly great action.
Again, like there is, I don't think it. I mean, it holds up definitely for the day, but I don't think it like I don't know. There's not really many scenes that I could pick apart in terms of like animation. Like it's great, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and each character too has their like own fighting style, which is really cool too.
There's
I'll never forget that opening scene. Like even watching it as a kid for the first time, when he's like trying to get into the palace or the gates, and they're like all doing their shit like in the air and all that.
Yeah,
That shit, I always thought that was dope.
They're like, he literally came in a ball of fire. And I like too how he's just like a big fan of theirs. Like at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, he goes.
And
"You
he
guys are
doesn't
the
know
size
shit
of
about karate."
of your action figures, and then he goes, "Except you, Mantis, you're kind of the same."
Well, then everyone's like giving him shit because he's fat, and then Mantis is like, "Well, I can't really judge someone for their size."
Yeah.
Mantis is trying to make him feel.
I can't believe that was Seth Rogen. I didn't when I was rewatching it when I heard him talk for the first time, and I was like, "What the hell?" I'm like, Seth Rogen's in this movie, man.
I didn't know that was Seth Rogen until I seen the end credits.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know
He
why.
even does his laugh.
Yeah, that's when I heard it. I was like, "What the hell?"
I don't know, but like, it didn't click for me for some reason.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, so Mike, you did watch this as a kid, right?
Yeah. I don't remember,
Okay.
but
I wasn't sure if
that
you had.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I believe I went to theaters to see it originally when I was a kid.
I know I did. I saw the first and second in theaters. I think the first one came out around the time that we were getting out of school, like for summer break. So I almost feel like that was like the end of summer thing my mom took me to. It was like, "You want to go see the new Kung Fu Panda?"
Yeah, and it's. I think the second one came out in like 2011. So I don't know. I like I said, I've seen all three, and it's just a really good like franchise. And I don't know, like the character. I'm a sucker for like underdog stories. I think like most people are. So. People used to call me Rocky and stuff. So, in high school,
you had a real underdog too.
Rudy.
Yeah.
Radio.
Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio. I had a bunch of nicknames.
Yeah, everyone knows, like, dude, who's that young Leo you're hanging out with?
Ellen.
Brad Pitt. I've heard that from Fight Club.
Yeah, I remember them calling you Brad Pitt. Never understood it, but I remember them calling you that.
I'm going to cut out all the insults you guys said and just leave the ones I said.
Whatever, bro.
But yeah, no. I mean, this is a quality children's movie, or like, I mean, even watching it now, like as adults, I mean, it still stands its ground. I enjoyed it. I might have to watch 2 and 3, especially if 4 is coming out.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, man. I really kind of want to watch 2 and 3 now that we're talking about
Mikey.
this.
Yeah.
it's funny. I did this recently with the Shrek movies. I watched the first one and I was like, "Fuck, I'm hooked." So
But
I
it's
had to watch
crazy.
them all. And I've seen them all.
How many old like animation movies we saw growing up, and like going back rewatching them now, or just looking at the cast list. Like, isn't Shark Tales one of the most stacked?
It's like,
Yeah, Shark Tales is
Yeah,
insane.
Shark Tales is stacked.
Insane.
And I've only seen that once. And another one that I wanted to look up, and I'm going to look it up right now, was Robots. That was one of my favorite movies growing up.
Robots was really good.
Like Owen
2005.
Wilson in Robots or some shit like that.
Who?
I thought, is Owen Wilson in Robots, or am I making that up?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. I think he's the main guy, Robbie.
All right, that's what I thought.
Let's
Meet
see.
the Robinsons.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
Meet the
say Meet the
Robinsons
Robinsons
is
was
good.
another one, and that fucking Jonas.
Ewan
Brothers
McGregor
Coen
is
still
Rodney. Damn. Fender,
Ants.
Robin Williams, Lucille Bliss.
Ants, yep. Oh my!
I don't want to name
gosh.
what.
This cast list for Shark Tale, man, is insane.
Oh.
Wow, look at it.
Insane, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. We talked about it. Who was on our Emperor's New Groove? Is that just me, you, and Bellis?
I was on it too.
All right, yeah. So the four of us.
So it's
we
just the
talked
three of
about-
us.
We talked about that then. How it fucking like you don't pay attention because again we're fucking children, and you're not really
Yeah.
putting things together unless you're like your parent or whoever you go with like nudges you is like, hey, do you know who that is? We've seen that guy before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, and there's scenes in this movie too.
Well, I mean,
where,
then again, the Robots came out in 2005. Shark Tale came out in 2004. So we're 5 years old watching these. I don't even know what I'm watching.
yeah, loving it.
I just feel
Yeah,
like
there
they don't
was
make
definitely-
animated films like this no more.
They don't.
Yeah, they might.
Well, look at
Put 'em
Disney's
out.
the only one that's putting them out realistically. I mean, besides like Mario and
I'm not gonna lie though, like
some of
Illumination.
those other ones.
if there's one thing that like obviously like Star Wars, like all that shit they have, but the animations for like Disney movies are just like top tier, man. Like DreamWorks,
Oh,
you
and they own
cannot-
Pixar too.
Yeah, like you cannot beat that shit. There's a couple ones that I've seen, some really good like feel good stories, which they all kind of are. But like I think the newer ones still compare to like the older ones. It's just a matter of like nostalgia for us, which is why we're saying all that. But there's some really good newer age like animated movies for sure.
Well, my only pet peeve with Disney's like new animation movies is like back in the day, like Toy Story, Finding Nemo, like all those ones that they like were successful enough to make them into like a theme at the amusement parks, you know? And now I feel like everything that they do is like, all right, if we do Frozen, we're gonna make a Frozen land. Like they plan this shit ahead.
Well, you
Before
want to
it's
know
like-
why? It's
You want to know
because
the
it's
conspiracy of Frozen?
it's
Because it's a business.
no. It's because it's saturated though. Like it was ahead of its time, and now that like it was successful, everybody's trying to do that now. You see that with like Avengers Campus and shit like that. Like everybody wants to make money. Like that's just simply how it is. Especially fucking Disney. They're a bunch of scumbags, if we're being honest with you.
Yeah. Well, look at like Illumination with Despicable Me, like the Minions, like that whole.
Yeah.
You know, those
That was
movies
big.
make billions of dollars.
Well, what
Crazy.
pisses me off too is like what Aiden said. They always want to branch off and to do like these amusement parks, whatever, and then they want to do like spin-offs, like the Batman with Penguin. Like I don't want to I as much as I want to see it, at the same time I don't, because it's almost like too much. I want to have like just enough to enjoy myself, but not enough that it's gonna make it like unenjoyable, because there's so much and like, there's bound to be like bad parts of it, you know.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of opposite on that, just because and you guys know this too, I'm so sick of seeing those end credit scenes, and we're waiting 5+ years in order to get something out of them.
It
And
builds
that is
hype.
like my biggest pet peeve, and that shit pisses me off every single time we see one of those new movies. And I mean, I'm glad like the Batman was good, and Colin Farrell playing the Penguin, like that's even greater. But the fact that we like enjoyed watching Batman, and then what is it, like almost a year and a half, and we already get to go back to that like world and shit like that. So I mean, if it's bad, it's bad, and then we talk shit about it after. But I mean,
But again, though,
more
you're
the merrier.
not to go off topic, which I think we are, but like again, you're seeing it with the MCU movies, like, or I'm sorry, the shows. Like, there was only 2 really good shows, and that was it. You know, like we're gonna shit on, you know, like.
I mean, Marvel's
it's-
falling off,
yeah.
dude. We can all agree on that.
But I'm saying that's just like an example. But anyway,
Kung
back
Fu
to Kung
Panda
Fu
would
Panda.
never though. Kung Fu
Yeah,
Panda
Kung Fu
would
Panda would
stay
never.
I'm waiting
Yeah,
for
but-
Kung Fu Panda 4 to come out, and 5, and 6.
Give me the
Fucking, it's gonna be like the
multiverse of
Fast
pandas,
Saga, dude.
bro.
Yeah,
Shit on the Fast Saga, dog.
I will.
The new
I've been
Fast 10 has
rewatching
like a
them. Good as hell.
60
I'm 5 behind. Don't forget.
That's our next episode.
I've seen
Well,
Fast 5, and I haven't seen the rest.
it has a Rotten Tomatoes of like 63 or 7. I think I've seen.
I read
Yeah, I think
something
all those
online. It was like
things.
one of the worst like dialogue.
Yeah, you
written
guys are
movies.
just haters.
It's just a cameo.
I heard that Jason Momoa's character is pretty good. He's like the
That's
Joker.
for sure.
They call him like the Fast and Furious Joker.
Kung Fu Panda though. Poe.
Yeah, no, and it's funny that we talk about like the spin-offs and stuff, because this movie, I mean, obviously this movie is so popular that, you know, got a trilogy. It's getting a 4th movie. It's got like shows. It's got specials. You know, it's spun off into this huge thing. I remember they had like McDonald's toys of it. They had like plushies of it. You know, they have a ton of stuff for it marketing wise. You know, obviously it became a really popular thing. So. Which is crazy to think about. Just one animated movie could spin off into this huge thing, right?
And you know what? I think the only successful franchise to actually do that and have all these shows and all these movies and stuff, Pokemon. I don't think there is a single other franchise.
Well,
that
dude, I
compares
mean,
to
if you're
Pokemon.
getting into Pokemon, they're just fucking rinse and repeat. I would compare Pokemon to Call of Duty, in my opinion.
That's the worst comparison ever. I compare it to like Naruto or something like that.
Call of Duty is just reskins. And I mean, Pokemon obviously tried doing that open world shit, but I mean, I don't
And
know.
it was successful.
Anything that they drop is successful.
You're proving my point.
Exactly. That's why I'm comparing it to Call of Duty. The newest Modern Warfare 2 is like the most selling game of all time.
All right, man.
And it's the shittiest one out of all time.
All right,
Yeah, but
man.
I think Pokemon is the biggest profitable thing ever. Like
Oh,
video
I
games,
agree.
toys.
And you know what's
movies, shows.
second? Hello Kitty, which is crazy.
I bet
Well, we all had that phase.
Is third the fucking?
I think that was just you, Josh.
What the fuck are those little horses? Are they unicorns? No, My Little Pony. Those motherfuckers sell.
No, I think it was
Sell to you.
Star Wars is like 10
Never.
too. There's like a list of like,
I was gonna
Highest
say
grossing.
Star Wars toys are fucking crazy.
but they're only 10th.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
Oh, Mike, Pokemon, Mickey Mouse,
Yeah,
Star
that's-
Wars.
that was third.
4th is Winnie the Pooh. 5 Disney princesses, and Pan Man.
And
It's a
and-
Japanese toy.
Yeah.
And then Harry Potter is 8th.
Just pretty honest.
MCU is 9th. Call of Duty's 10th.
Oh
And
wow,
where's Kung Fu Panda at on this?
Yeah,
it's gotta be top 20, right?
Gotta be.
It's
But
not.
it's cool,
It's not.
though.
It's not even
cool
close,
that
if
they're
we're
making
being
a
honest.
4th movie. Like, it's cool to
1,
see
2,
that
3,
kids
4,
will
5,
still get
6,
to grow up with
7,
Kung Fu Panda. Because Kung Fu
Yeah.
Panda, the first one dropped, we're 9 years old. Second one drops, we're like 12. And that was probably like the last time we were going to the movies to see like animated shit, around then. So, like, that was kind of like, not that we necessarily didn't like it, but that wasn't cool. Like, we grew out of it. And then they carried on, did a trilogy so those kids could grow up with it. And now you have the 4th one. And then it brings you back to this fucking classic that we're talking about right here.
Well, I mean, you see, like, look at we were 22, 23 years old going to see Super Mario Brothers. Like,
Yeah. But that was
Yeah.
strictly
Dressed
for
up, too.
business. That was strictly
Yeah,
for
man.
business.
Look, I got the red hat, man. I just needed the suit. I dressed up as Mario.
Give me a rest. It's me.
It's me, Mario.
Well, no, that's what's cool about it. Like Kung Fu Panda 4, and then obviously they're doing like Shrek 5, and Toy Story 4 just came out, and
Are
like
we excited about Shrek 5?
I have
Yeah.
high hopes. I didn't mind the other ones, to be honest.
No, I mean, they're all good, but it's just that, like, long pause that they do. Like, even with Finding Nemo, Finding Dory came out, like, 10 plus years after Finding Nemo, didn't it?
Yeah, but that was also like a send off in a way, which is very cool.
That's true. But I thought they did a
We
good
got
job
to-
with
We
it.
got to grow up with it, and then Finding Dory came out, and that was the same year we were shipping off
Yeah.
to college and shit.
well, no, Toy Story did it best though, because Toy Story 1 and 2 were like only I think a few months apart or a year apart, and then the third movie, Andy's grown up and going to college, and that's when like when you watch the first two movies, you grow up, and then you watch the third one, and that's what hits the heartstrings.
Such a
If
great
you're
ass
that
movie, and they
age-
ruined it with 4.
I still think 4 was good, but yeah, they didn't need it for
Four
sure.
was good,
It wasn't
definitely
needed.
unnecessary. The third one
I'm not
already
even-
left you crying at the end.
100%.
This podcast or just like this episode is gonna make me want to go on a binge of like all these animated movies that we grew up with,
Good, man.
and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna
Yeah.
be bad.
Yeah,
And that's the thing, they're on all streaming platforms, too.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
yeah. So
they're
you have
all-
no excuse to not watch them.
They're all on Disney, if we're being honest with you.
Yeah.
DreamWorks stuff.
Not the DreamWorks stuff. Although some of it's like on the Peacock.
Kids episode.
Oh my bad. I'm Peacock.
Wow.
You're Peacock. Whoa.
Yeah, I can. Let's get into the trivia for this because there's some cool ones. The animators took a 6-hour kung fu class to get the idea of the movie's action.
It's
Isn't
dope.
that funny? Imagine that you're like a 45-year-old animator
They
with
probably
3
loved
kids
it.
at home. Yeah, and they're like, "Hey, you got to go to a kung fu class for 6 hours."
If I got paid for it, I'd love it.
Around the 19-minute mark, the scene where Poe enters Jade Palace and is amazed by all the relics is based on the director's first experience entering the Skywalker Ranch.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Nice.
Have you guys seen videos of that the Skywalker Ranch?
Yeah, do you
It
guys
looks
know
so
about
I
sick.
haven't. No.
That
What is
shit's nutty.
You never heard of it?
No. I've heard of
It's a-
Skinwalker Ranch.
No. Skywalker Ranch is like George Lucas's like
Oh, shit.
I guess it's
never
like
heard of
it's
that.
like a dreamland. Like it's
Workplace
it's
with
all
film
the
directors.
it's all the OG like Star Wars shit. Like the OG's like Darth Vader's suit, like that they actually used in the original trilogy, like R2D, like everything. Every Star Wars's fans like heaven on
What,
earth.
Says, can you
I was
visit
gonna say my
Skywalker
dream.
Ranch? Public tours are not available for Skywalker Ranch. You have to be invited to the grounds in order to view them. You can visit the Yoda fountain in the President
Yeah.
in San Francisco. They got a Yoda fountain there. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, no, there's like videos of it. there's like a Conan remote, and it's really funny. They go there, and it's awesome though. And they have like workers and stuff there, or at least they did before Disney bought them. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if they still work out of there. Maybe just George Lucas lives there now. The individual fighting scenes of the Furious Five members, Crane, Mantis, Tiger, Monkey, and Viper, are actual kung fu styles molded after the particular animals. Poe's fighting
Nice.
style is molded after the bear style kung fu. Pretty cool.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like I said, we mentioned that earlier. I think every fight scene between characters is really cool. Like that whole bridge scene, and that's funny that like Mantis has to hold it up by himself, and you're like, how the hell is he doing that? Is really cool. That scene is like one of my favorites. Obviously, the fight scene at the end is really sweet too. According to an interview with James Hung, his father owned a noodle shop. When the producers found out about this, they incorporated it into the character Mr. Ping.
It works
Pretty
out.
That's dope.
And the fact that they even like just the call outs or just like the callbacks they made on that, like him at the making dinner for like the whole five with like the noodle over his smile and like the bowls, and then he put the bowls over his tits, like stuff like that.
Yeah, and they get stuck.
Yeah.
No, and I like too the message that his dad tells him too. Like, I mean, in a way, he explains what the dragon scroll really is, but again, that's just that hidden message there that they harp on. I think it's really cool that it comes from his dad. So, according to this to his online diary, Jackie Chan recorded his voiceover during a single 5-hour recording session in Los Angeles.
He's just goaded like that, bro.
Easy paycheck right there.
He just fucking sits down. He's like, "Give me the script." They're like, "You sure you don't want to like take a break? Give me the script."
He's like, "I know my karate shit." He's like, "I got it."
I love it.
I was at the dentist.
He's a legend.
I was at the dentist this week, and I seen Karate Kid on the TV in like the waiting room.
So good.
The Jaden
Anytime
Smith
I see
one.
that shit.
Yeah, the Jaden Smith one.
I like what's his name better. Ralph Macchio one's better, but that one was great for like a remake, and they didn't do anything else with it. It was just a good like from start to finish, good story, and I don't know. I just think that it's a crazy concept. You go back and watch it. His mom just picks up and leaves everything from Detroit and just goes to fucking China.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit.
Then her son just gets bullied that he whoops all their asses.
Is Never Say Never at the end of that movie with Justin Bieber? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Hey, Jaden Smith verse goes hard in that shit, but we can just save that for another time. But.
This film was originally going to be a spoof of the kung fu genre, but one of the directors, John Stevenson, wanted to help do a blend of comedy and action to make this movie more epic, saying, "I wasn't interested in making a fun martial arts movie because I really think they can be great films, but they can also be good genre movies, and if they're properly done." So I agree with that. I'm happy that it's not a spoof movie. I think honestly, if it was a spoof, it wouldn't have become such a big thing, right? I don't think it maybe would have gotten a trilogy or spin-off shows and all that stuff. So I think it worked out the way they did it, obviously. And last one, this movie took 4 years to make. Isn't that crazy?
What the?
It makes sense. It makes sense with the animation though.
Yeah, and look how slowly they come out. I mean, obviously they put a lot of work into these, so I don't know, man. I'm excited for this fourth one. I'll definitely go see it like opening day. I don't know. I'm a sucker for
And I
this.
mean, nowadays too, the
out?
cast is probably gonna be even more
2024.
stacked than these other ones.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the third one they had fucking J.K. Simmons and Bryan Cranston. So
I feel like voice acting is just like the easiest fucking thing though, dude.
oh, I'd love that job.
Like it can't like obviously you
I
have to have
almost feel like though it'd be harder than like a
No,
live
it's
action.
definitely not easy.
Not
Because
easy,
you're not
not
like
easy,
in the
but-
moment, you know, like you don't have your like a fellow co-stars with you. Like it's you in the booth. Maybe you guys are looking across from each other, but to get into that fucking headspace and you don't have any like picture of what the fuck's going on other than what they've given you. Like it's not like
Yeah.
I'm sure like the animation's like right in front of you. Like you seen that Bradley Cooper?
oh yeah,
Um,
fair.
No, yeah, they do give you a vision. They
Yeah.
honestly like do the whole movie and then add the lines after.
Yeah.
That's how
sure they-
most of them I've seen.
I'm sure they do the editing like with like the when they add like the voicing in like
Yeah,
that just
they
to make it line up a little bit too.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the trivia. Do you guys want to kind of get into scores?
Let's get it.
Yep.
So really quick though,
Good.
with animated movies versus actual movies, how what is the line between those two? I'm curious on what your guys' thoughts are. How do you compare both of them?
I feel like animated movies are just made to be fun, you know, and especially the ones that we've watched have just been made for fucking kids, not for 23-year-olds to go and watch. Like, they're not catering for us, you know? So when you go and watch a good animated film, you'll see ones what's it called? Spider-Verse. And you're like, holy fucking shit, this is actually the best piece of Spider-Man that we've ever fucking gotten. Like, this is great. But then at the same time that you can go and see things like, I don't know what's more of a downer one. Like I guess even Super Mario, you know, like we didn't expect a lot from it. It was just Mario Bros. We grew up playing it. Like fuck it, let's go watch it and talk about it after. And I feel like that's where the line becomes. And I mean to say if there's a bad one, like you'll know a bad one when you see it. Like especially like an actual movie, but then an animated one, it's like, well, I had fun and it's not for me. At least give it like a 60.
And that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Like how when it comes to comparing, can an animated movie be one of the best movies of all time? And,
Like Spider-Verse. Like
I think so.
Like that's the only one that I can think of where it is something better than any of the live action stuff that we've gotten from like anything related to that superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're comparing though, we for sure were spoiled when we were kids growing up.
Oh, 100%.
Like we had the best movies, man. I mean, no, like 80s movie, but I'm talking like kids movies at our time, like in our generation, were spot on. We had great
Yeah, but I
cartoons.
feel like every generation says that about when they're
No,
kids,
but I
you
mean,
know?
but we know we
Back
can
in
look and
my
see what we have
days.
now. We can look and see what the kids have now because we see everything that's coming out, and I mean, it's not even remotely close to.
I
What
mean, they have
we
Dog Patrol, they have Bluey.
Cocomelon.
shit.
Now.
Cocomelon.
Yeah,
Yeah, Coco Melon.
Billy and Mandy,
Caillou.
Rocket Power.
But think
Pixar's
about
Birds.
at
it.
least giving them good stuff though.
Who?
Like Pixar consistently gives kids like
Oh,
good
yeah.
stuff. Like,
Yeah,
even
like
throughout the
Coco
years.
and
Yeah,
Soul.
Minions was
Right.
sweet.
That's not.
even DreamWorks, but
It's
yeah,
Illumination.
I get what you're saying.
Well, I'm just saying in cartoons in
Yeah.
general.
But just
I
think
don't
about it
fucking
though,
know who puts out
how spoiled we were. Like Toy Story, Finding Nemo, even like Pokemon. Like
Yeah,
just
but
like
those,
art-
those also came out
Yeah.
before we were born.
Yeah.
I mean, no, Pokemon. I mean, I don't think so. No, most of the stuff came out 1999 and after. I feel like,
Yeah, but we don't have
Well,
like,
Toy
memories
Story
of
was like
it, so,
1995.
but still, we grew up with them.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
it was pulling packs at 3 years old, Pokemon packs.
But then again, I
you
mean,
know what the
like,
fuck you're
if
pulling.
parents are like raising their kids the right way, they go on all these streaming platforms and put the OG cartoons on for their kids and not this new shit. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Well,
Hey
like,
Arnold.
yes and no. Like, I sit next to two 43-year-old moms at work, and like every now and then I'll like pick their brain about shit that their kids like are into and like what they watch. And my one I brought up is like me and my manager that sits across from me. He's only 26, so like I'll make like a SpongeBob reference, and he'll like spit it right back because we grew up on that. And I think a situation like that happened. And I looked at the two moms, and I was like, "Hey, they're like, your kids watch SpongeBob?" And they were like. The one lady was like, no, not really. And the other lady was like, I've showed it to him, but he doesn't really appreciate it the way that you guys would. Because, again, she's even older, so she didn't even grow up with it. So she's like, I see the way that people, like, quote about it and talk about it, but, like, that's not really a thing that he's into. And then she named all the shit that he was into. It's like, okay, like, I've heard of that, but past my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know kids that watch YouTube drama comedies.
That's the biggest thing, too.
So bad, dude.
She
Like,
tells me
what?
all the time he spends watching YouTube, and I'm like, what's even on there? Like, I watched a fair share of YouTube, but that wasn't until like middle school, high school, and we were watching like all those dumbass COD clips from like the Speedy Crew and Van Oz
Yeah.
Gaming and shit like that. Like, I never watched like
Yeah.
anything serious on there.
I never watched
Every time I flash somebody,
a couple of
it's
YouTube
like a-
family, like shit like that.
Yeah.
When they flash me, it's like
Good stuff.
yeah.
But yeah,
I'm ready to get into scores if you're all done with trivia.
Yep.
Lead us off, buddy.
All right. Great movie. Growing up, came out in 2008, so we all saw it when it probably originally came out, all as kids. It's one of those, like you said, you watch it and it sticks with you for the rest of your life. Like, I'm rewatching this and I can tell you scene by scene what's going to happen because it was so good back in the day. And like I said, we were spoiled. I think we had good ass animated films coming up. But no, I mean, I love this movie. It's great. I can't believe I haven't seen the second and the third one. Maybe I have. I don't know. I don't remember. So I'll try to put those on the list, see if I can get those knocked out here soon. But I feel confident giving this an 82 out of 100. It's not the best animated movie of all time, but it's up there. Top 10, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Top
But
10, but
good
it's
watch.
top 10, but it's only an 82.
Of his animated movies.
Yeah.
Still, like
It's not top 10 of all time.
I know, but top 10 animated movie of all time? That's a really low score.
I mean, dude, there's a million of them.
That's the whole. Okay.
Mike,
I'll go.
Mike,
next
show him a
here.
real score.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
I'll
I was
go-
gonna-
show
I was
me a
gonna
98.
piggyback off that.
Oh,
Because
do that.
I did
Do it,
have-
Brian.
I said something, then you guys cut me off. I also had 82 written down before we started. Great fucking
the only
movie. But like what it comes down to is that there are so many good fucking animated movies. Like obviously, like we've been talking about, and I know where some of these other ones scale. Especially Pixar movies are just unmatched. Like you can't fucking beat those. It's crazy. But I think an 82 is there because again, the rewatchability is there. Obviously, we're seeing it. We're talking what it's been. What 17 years since this shit came out? What fuck
15.
is that the math? 15. Sorry, long day of work. 15 years since the shit came out, and here we are. And like Josh was like, "Let's do Kung Fu Panda," and I was like, "Hell yeah!" Because I'm sure I've seen it since then, just on TV or something. Just didn't even really think about it. Just turned it on because like, "Oh, Jack Black's a panda. That's funny. Like that's great." And then you get a heartwarming tale along the way. And again, that scene with the sword, I still think about to this day. Anytime I see a sharp object, I'm like, "Oh, it's so sharp that even looking at it, good." Ah, amazing, love that. But yeah, confidently 82 on this.
Okay, well, I'll go next here because I think Josh is probably going to have the highest score. But I'm going to be not substantially higher than these two, but definitely a little bit higher. Obviously, like we talked about, great animated movie, definitely up there, I think, in terms of all time animated movies, and definitely all time trilogies from the sound of it. I definitely need to watch the second and third one because the way you guys are talking about it, I'm like, I'm going to get my socks knocked off or something like that. But star-studded cast, a really heartwarming movie. And the fact that we're even watching this at 23 years old again and just talking about it, 15 years later, it goes to tell you that it's definitely a movie that holds up, especially in terms of animation. The fact that they animated this the way they did in 2008, it definitely shows that it took 4 years to get it done. So with that said, I'm going to give it an 87 out of 100. I really enjoyed this second or third time watch around. I don't know why. It was just something that really hit for me home this time. And like I said, I really enjoyed this for some reason.
Yeah, so I'll come out and say it. I actually had the same score, 87 also. Andrew is slightly higher. He watched the movie he wasn't able to be on, but he is his scores on our website, Small Guys Podcast. Go check that out. That's for all our scores for every movie that we do. But yeah, obviously we talked about how great the cast is. Hans Zimmer's involved. Like, it's something you don't appreciate, I guess, when you're 8 years old watching this movie. But being an adult and still really enjoying it, and it gets you hype. Like it motivates you, like Mike said. So yeah, I think it's a really good movie. I think it definitely deserves 80s range for sure. When it comes to animated movies, it's quotable, it's funny. Everyone's at least seen the first one, so and obviously it was good enough to make a ton of money and spin off into other things, and clearly they're making a fourth one 16 years later. So, but yeah, so that was our review rewind of Kung Fu Panda. We'll be back Friday with Brian's most anticipated movie of the year behind Oppenheimer, Fast 10 or Fast X.
Dude,
What'd you say?
Movie of the year?
guys, before we even get to that episode, I just want to say I'm rewatching these. Fuck, turn your brain off. These movies are fire. All right.
Hey, is everything all right at home, Brian?
Banger soundtrack through and through. This might be best action movie of the year. Let's see. All right, I'm not ready to count it out.
They're action movie soap operas, honestly, and they're great if you just turn your brain
Well, you
off.
just
Obviously,
wouldn't get it because you clearly don't appreciate family. I noticed as my rewatching, it always sounds like Vin Diesel's talking like he's got like a little bit of drool about to come out.
Brian, you've seen 9, right?
I haven't. That's why I'm excited. I'm building up to it.
Have you seen 8?
Yeah, I've seen 8,
Okay,
and I've
I
seen
saw 9
Hobbs
in
and Shaw.
theaters.
Yeah, I saw Hobbs
Okay.
and Shaw, and I saw 8, and 8 was the last one, and then 9. I think I was out here, so I didn't have Spencer to go with, and I wasn't going to ask one of my friends out here.
Yeah, I think 5's my favorite, and then I like 7 a lot, and I like Hobbs and Shaw. But we could talk about that more on Friday.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you boys later.
See you, boys. Love you guys.
Peace out.
Hello?
See you next episode. Is that a
What was
ghost? A fucking ghost?
All right,
Where
boys.
you
Hell
going?
no.
Bitch, there is a ghost in the house.